indeed, I'm standing between you and a cocktail, so I'll make it fairly short. Actually, what I done was, together with my colleague, I had written down what I'd taken away from today, and had the intention to give a nice summary, but I think that's a very bad idea. Also, in light of the great wealth of things that has been shared with us today, I would say, and which I think it takes quite a bit of time to grasp the importance of what is occurring today. And I have to say that my algorithms are not working sufficiently quickly in order to come to some good conclusions today. So let me just make a few, indeed, final remarks. And that is, a good friend of mine always said to me, Jeroen, facts should never get in the way of a good story. Well, today, with easy access to a lot of facts, I think this may no longer be true. Secondly, indeed, I had written down as well, garbage in, garbage out. I very much believe in that. And one could also possibly, so I thought, how can I put it differently? And I thought of someone else who was terribly smart. And he said, we should try to simplify things, but we should not make them more simple than they are. And we should not forget, indeed, I think, in this respect, that where we are today is the result of a very long history, the history of mankind. So to say, well, we should just rely on the black box, I have to say I have great difficulties with it, and I would fight it with all my force. So that is, and I very much believe, indeed, that it's difficult to say what is the right decision. Because one of the things, actually, one of the conclusions that I did come to, actually, and not too long ago, is that we are really speeding towards a global village. Because if we indeed put in place these systems, it does mean that we are going to think alike all over the place, which means we're not going to take account of differences between cultures. We're not going to take account of differences which indeed are the result of a different past. And what may be right here may not be right elsewhere. So it may mean that the variety which constitutes mankind may be somewhat in danger. But that's a conclusion I just came to a few minutes ago. I don't know whether this is true or not. I did come to the conclusion that there is still a great future for humans, because a lot of us said, well, don't worry, we're not going to be replaced. The judges are not going to be replaced. The lawyers are not going to be replaced yet. The lawyers are not going to be replaced yet. There is still quite a bit of place for human beings, to the extent lawyers may indeed count themselves among those species. Because after all, what are we? We have sentiments, we have qualms, we have our own rationale, we have gut feeling, etc. So to all of a sudden expect that this is going to all fit into this black box, which is going to render a right decision, again, I'm not sure, because we all know that, well, the graveyards are filled with a lot of indispensable men. And today the question is, to what extent can we indeed be replaced, not by someone else, but possibly, well, by a being which is made out of metal, precious metal, and algorithms. So that as well, again, it has an impact on how we view ourselves, I think. And what way do we want to go? I think the philosophical questions are huge in this respect. And we also spoke about the model within the model. And that is, once you accept that the reality is that certain people will make certain decisions by basing themselves on artificial intelligence, well, then we will be forced to take it into account. And if this artificial intelligence, I think for quite a while, will not be as sophisticated as we are, well, it may indeed just flatten humanity as well. Because not taking it into account, I think, would be an error. Just like people that may be trading with certain software, if you trade yourself, but you say, well, this software is not made right, but if you don't take account of it, well, the market will nevertheless go in a certain way as a result of the software. So all of this, I think, leads to a lot of interesting questions. What else could I say? Well, a lot of things, I think. But yeah, I also thought of, well, we all know that today Ross, the robot of IBM, has already been hired by certain law firms. And I was kind of wondering, actually, what the TV series Suits of or Damages will look like in 1 generation from now. I mean, I could imagine that the Ross would not be after Rachel, but maybe would be after this wonderful robot of Aldebaran. You know, it would make maybe for an interesting series. Yeah, I think I would like to terminate or finish by saying that I think it is essential that we do remain in charge, and not to accept that machines will make decisions for us. I think that we would not be doing justice to ourselves and to what we have built as mankind. Yes, we should not say, well, you know, don't try to understand the algorithms. We should just trust that it is right. Just throw a lot of data in it and you verify whether it's right. I would say no. I think in the end, we should remain in charge. We should be the persons in the end that make the final decisions. So I would like to close with that.